Hello, and welcome back to the English Exchange podcast, in which we talk about all things Shakespeare and look at it through the lens of our modern conceptions. I'm Zach, joined with Ethan, and today we'll be looking at the classic Romeo and Juliet and seeing if only love can conquer hate.
It is a question that sparks plenty of debate. They literally die at the end of the play. If that isn't hate conquering over love, then I don't know what is.
I can see why many think this, but for them to even meet, they would have to find each other and overcome the hate of their houses to love each other. Take this quote from Juliet, for instance. "My only love sprung from my only hate," from Act 2, Scene 2. Through Shakespeare's use of juxtaposition and an oxymoron where he places love and hate side by side, Shakespeare shows that Juliet loves Romeo unconditionally, ignoring the hostile feud between their families. Furthermore, Juliet's realization that her love for Romeo sprung from the very hatred she was taught to embrace emphasizes how powerful and transformative love can be, arising from the most adverse circumstances.
Exactly. They absolutely loved each other, and you can see this through their symbolic use of light and dark imagery. Take for instance Romeo's famous line,
"But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun."
from Act 2, Scene 2. In this metaphor, Juliet is compared to the sun, a source of light that illuminates and brings life. The light that she brings into Romeo's life contrasts sharply with the darkness of the feud and the hatred that surrounds them. The contrast between light and dark imagery isn't just about their love, it's about the clarity and hope, even in the darkest of circumstances, love can bring.
That's a great observation. The light and dark imagery also serves to highlight the transformative power of love. Before meeting Juliet, Romeo is depicted as a moody, unhappy young man, consumed by his love for Rosaline. He's in a dark place, both emotionally and psychologically, but when Juliet enters his life, she becomes a light that guides him out of that darkness. She gives him a sense of purpose and direction, something that was lacking in his life before. We can see this transformation in Romeo through Mercutio's teasing. When Mercutio says, "Alas, poor Romeo, he is already dead, stabbed with a white wench's black eye, shot through the ear with a love song," from Act 2, Scene 4, he is suggesting that Romeo has been weakened by love. But in reality, Romeo isn't weakened at all. Instead, he's discovered a new kind of strength, one that comes from truly caring about someone else. Through Shakespeare's use of a hyperbole and a metaphor, he demonstrates that this kind of love is something that many of the men in Verona, including Mercutio, haven't experienced, which is why they misinterpret Romeo's behavior as a sign of weakness.
And this transformation doesn't just affect Romeo and Juliet, it ripples out to those around them, influencing their actions and decisions. For instance, Friar Lawrence, typically a cautious figure, agrees to marry Romeo and Juliet in secret. He says, "For this alliance may so happily prove, to turn your household rancor to pure love," from Act 2, Scene 3. Through the use of a metaphor of turning rancor into pure love, Shakespeare directly displays that Friar Lawrence expresses hope that the marriage will end the feud, reflecting his belief in love's redemptive power.
Wait, before we sign off, let's also consider how Shakespeare uses the tragic ending to reinforce the idea that love, despite its challenges, is ultimately more enduring than hate. Yes, Romeo and Juliet's love story ends in death, but their love is so powerful that it forces their feuding families to reconcile. The tragedy of their deaths becomes a catalyst for peace, showing that love, even in its most tragic form, can bring about profound change. It's a bittersweet reminder that while hate may cause destruction, love has the power to heal and unite, leaving a lasting impact long after the story ends.
That wraps up today's episode of the English Exchange podcast. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, in the words of Shakespeare, love is a smoke made with the fume of sighs. Keep spreading love, and we'll see you next time.